So why won't I go to Easy Road and not Sean Porter House? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I?
Look at this dude.
Why wouldn't I?
You a smart man, but not that smart.
Bro.
You smart, nigga. But you ain't that smart. You ain't that smart, my dude. Yo, Bud Crawford. How you feeling, man? You relaxing? You feeling good? Stress-free? Got nothing to worry about? But I'm hearing that this man called Tim Smith, Tim Smith, PBC, Vice President of Communications, and someone saying some things about you, my dude. But bro, you know I'm a Manny Pacquiao fan, right? So I'm not a Terrence Crawford fan, and I'm not an Errol Spence fan. I like both of them. So I'm gonna let you hear from somebody that's out the picture, from the outside, but watching from the outside, but that's still got his 2 cents in. So, you know, back in the days, I used to make videos of Bud Crawford and what he said, you know, about 1 minute he wants to fight, and I'm looking at him like, you know, I'm looking at him like, damn, this dude's ducking, because this is what he said. Then I started to notice some, I don't know if this is a word, bipolarism behavior from Bud Crawford. So when I used to see these, when I used to hear him say certain things, I'm like, oh, he ducking Spence. But then he say another thing, and next thing you know, he wants Spence. So then after a while, I got used to it, and I understand this is this man's behavior. And in this climate, say it together, in this climate, you have to be that person, which Bud Crawford is. And I believe so. I believe Bud Crawford is doing the right thing. Because right now you got Spence fans not understanding. You know, they're not understanding the character, the actions of Bud Crawford. 1 minute he's in the ocean. 1 minute he doesn't want to fight. 1 minute he does. He's taking these actions with the WBA and knowing these actions might not work, but he's taking actions. There's a lot of things going on, but I hear that a lot of Spence fans is listening to this Tim Smith, right? A VP of Communications. Now he came out and he said, you already know what he said. If you don't know what he said, look it up. But I'm going to say a couple things, and I'm going to come down to you like this. And let's just look at facts here. And let's not look at it as a negative, but a positive. Because I see Bud Crawford stress-free. One, he beat his mandatory Sean Porter. We got no stress of no opponents on your back unless some videos are made about you need to fight so and so. Where I'm hearing that a lot from the Errol Spence fans, or what you should do. Let's talk about what Spence should do and what threatens his strap season. Why don't we talk about that, right? But you can't. You can't. You got to worry about the next man and what he's doing and what you think he should do. But this is a fact. Bud Crawford, you free. You could lay up, feet up, and relax for the whole year. So that's one, right? Two, what's the other one? Oh, is this a positive or negative? Tim, whatever this dude name is that's part of PBC, he messed up big time. Because he said that we can't pay Crawford the money he wants. We're not trying to insult Crawford, but we can't pay him the money he wants. Hey, now y'all Spence fans is reinforcing this. It's all good. It's all fucking dandy, right? It's all Gucci and all this shit, right? But check this out here, man. Well, Mr. Tim Smith, if that's the case that you can't afford Bud Crawford, and I'm not going to get into, they had the money for Canelo, they had the money for Caleb Plant, got $50 million. I'm not going to go through all that shit. I'm not going to go through none of that shit, which I just did, but I'm not going to go in detail with it. The networks, yes, the networks, the promoters, and you're telling me PBC is with Showtime and Fox, and you ain't got no money. You ain't got no money from these two networks, right? Which they give you allowance so you could double whatever you're supposed to make for these networks, right? Or triple the money, right? So they give you a certain amount of money to do something, right? And you got to do it. You got to promote, and you got to triple your worth. But you ain't got it. You ain't got it. You got a budget. Every year is a budget. And if you can't fulfill what you use in your budget, the networks leave you and go to another place. So you got the money. It's a whole new year. Do you get a new budget? Money never runs out. Okay? If you're still with the network, money never runs out. So kill that noise, homie. Kill it, man. Kill it. Because I ain't trying to hear it. But this is good news. But, Errol Spence fans and these dudes are trying to make it sound like it's bad news. But this is good news, man. But it's bad news for the Errol Spence fans. See, while they trying to push a narrative of, wow, Bud, you're no good. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't sell. Well, Bud Crawford's like, okay, hey, I'm Bud Crawford right now. I'm not going to go through the whole his voice and all that shit, but I'm going to tell you how I'm going to run this shit right here if I'm Bud Crawford. One, I don't care about what any Crawford fans say about an option of dropping the belt and moving up. That is not an option for Crawford. Crawford need to keep that belt. Crawford need to keep that belt. Because, Tag, you with, buddy. You got 3 things to do. You got to beat Ugas. That's 1. After you beat Ugas, you got a WBA tournament. That's 2. Now, are they going to step aside a month again? That's 3. Then you got your IBF mandatory. Listen, Crawford is laid back, just going to watch. And if this is what I'll do with Crawford, I'll be like, hey, it's strap season, right? But this is where my accolades kick in, buddy. This is where my accolades kick in. Because I've been there. You haven't. Strap season, undisputed. And this is going to be my narrative from now on. If I was Bud Crawford, I said, you know what? I'm going to be bipolarism right here. I'm going to do some bipolarism shit. I'm going to say I want to fight. Next thing I know, I don't want to fight. And all this shit I'm going to say, right? Just to get you scratching your head and not knowing where I'm coming from, right? Because you can't pinpoint Crawford's mind. You can't pinpoint it. And this is the climate that I love from Crawford now. Before back then, I didn't. And I felt like he was, when he did that Yahoo interview, which I'll show you. And he said, after Khan, I'm done. After Khan, if I leave this boxing shit now, I did enough. I did enough. And you have to stay on that right there, man. You got to stay on that, man. Because this situation with this man coming out, Tim Smith or whatever, talking about, well, we don't want to hurt him. We don't want to, this is a delicate situation. We can't pay him what he's looking for. Well, hey, don't pay me, man. Don't pay me. Because the way I see it is either you trying to say, well, you wasn't promoted right, so maybe we should promote you. Maybe you need to do a 2 or 3 fight deal, because check this out right here, man. If Errol Spence beat Ugas, right? PBC could come along and say, yo, Crawford, we could get you that fight. We could get you that fight with Errol Spence, right? But we want you to fight Ugas or Keith Thurman, like I said. But you know what? Since Keith Thurman's on our side, on the PBC side or whatever. They're on our side. You know what we could do? Who's gonna make more numbers? Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, or Keith Thurman and Bud Crawford? Well, you know what? We're gonna make Keith Thurman fight Errol Spence, and you, if you want that fight, you can fight August. See, the PBC thinks they got it all Gucci, right? Because they got a lot of welterweights on their side. But the only problems, dude, you got this one welterweight that wants undisputed. I keep saying Crawford won undisputed too, but it's not a big deal. And he needs a push that it ain't a big deal. He needs a push that it ain't a big deal. That's what he needs to do. He needs to say, listen, man, yo, I'm 35 years old, man. This fight here with Errol Spence is either I get near 50-50, because you're not getting 60-40, you're not getting 70-30, and you're not getting 80-20. If you want this fight here, it's got to be near 50-50. So in other words, he's asking for 50-50, but I want something near 50-50. Yes, it's going to be more for Errol, but it ain't going to be way more for Errol. No, it ain't going to be way more for Errol. And if you can't get that from me, PBC, yo, Che, have a good day, man. And you going to tell Spence the bad news. See, they trying to flip it like it's bad news to Bud. But Bud ain't calling for this. He ain't calling for this, man. He ain't saying, listen, I need the straps. How long this man been talking about straps? And I keep pushing this, man. And these Errol Spence things, all they stuck on, these niggas, man. All they fucking stuck on, man. Come on, get your ass over here, nigga. Huh? All they stuck on is about, how he sells and how he don't sell and all this shit. That's all you want to worry about. He doesn't sell. So it's so funny how, prize fighting and the box has always been there. That comes with each other. The fighter wants the prize. The prize is not just beating the next opponent. The prize is the kick, is the money, right? So this comes two in common. It is come in common with each other, right? Especially if you got two champions that have belts. That's a whole different story. I understand it. So when I hear certain fans say, I don't care what they do. I don't care what they do, just as long as I see the fight. Yo, so you're going to come on a talk show talking about what you want, but what's blocking what you want? But you don't want to hear what's blocking what you want, right? You don't want to hear it. And then when other people talk about, well, it's the prize that's blocking it, you want to say, well, you're not a businessman. You're not a businessman, so you shouldn't be talking about that. You're a fan. You shouldn't talk about business because you're a fan. But look at this, man. The doors are wide open for talking about business. Because these dudes been talking about business, man. This businessman came out to the public and told us why this fight might not happen because Bud Crawford can't sell. You think that's negative? A negative message to Crawford? You think this is a negative crop? Come on, my dude. Yo, let me check this out, right? Check this out. You know what? Before I go on, let me explain to you what I think about a businessman. Okay? I'm about to get a copyright strike. Like always, I don't care because I don't care about that right now. I'm caring about the message. And I'm going to deliver this message, copy strike. Right. Okay? So check this out. My man, George Carlin, can you explain to them what a businessman is about? Let's go.
Same as business. Everybody knows by now, all businessmen are completely full of shit. Just the worst kind of low-life criminal cocksuckers you could ever want to run into. A fucking piece of shit businessman. And the proof of it is they don't even trust each other. They don't trust one another. When a businessman sits down and negotiates a deal, the first thing he does is to automatically assume that the other guy is a complete lying prick who's trying to fuck him out of his money. So he's got to do everything he can to fuck the other guy a little bit faster and a little bit harder. And he's got to do it with a big smile on his face. You know that big bullshit businessman smile? And if you're a customer, whoa, That's when you get the really big smile. Customer always gets that really big smile as the businessman carefully positions himself directly behind the customer and unzips his pants and proceeds to service the account. I'm servicing this account. This customer needs service. Now you know what they mean. Now you know what they mean when they say, we specialize in customer service. Whoever coined the phrase, let the buyer beware, was probably bleeding from the asshole. But that's business.
So, as a customer, you want me to bleed from the asshole. Yeah, let me explain something to you. What happened with Tank? What happened with Tank just recently, right? They said he could sell without a cha-cha dance partner. He could just sell. No matter who you put him in there with, he can sell, right? So what did these businessmen do? Huh? What did these businessmen do? I mean, this is Mayweather, right? PBC Mayweather, they with each other in a way, but they not with each other in a way, right? And I think Tank also has, I think Al Heyman has a part of Tank. I think this is why Tank went so far. But PBC, Tank, Al Heyman, and Floyd. I'm not sure the fuckery going on with Tank and who owns a percentage of them and whatever. And I don't care right now. But what I do care is that the customer service, see, they don't want to tell you the numbers, right? They don't want to tell you the numbers with Tank Davis when shit ain't nice and dandy, right? But we're the fans, right? We're the customer. We have the right to know that other fans are watching. We have the right to know. It should be there for the public to know, right? But you now, see, you set a trend. Before you used to show when you were succeeding, right? But then all of a sudden something don't work out, right? And we can't see numbers. All of a sudden, it's like, well, we're not going to show you the numbers, right? But I'm watching now because this fight on February 5th with Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios, if the numbers is not fulfill enough with Keith Thurman, right? I can see you not saying anything either. And guess what? The fight with Spence and Ugas, I can see you not saying anything either. So from Tank to the future, you might as well stick like crazy glue on that freaking new situation you're talking about. We ain't showing pay-per-view numbers. You might as well stick with it, man. You might as well stick with it. Because I'm not going back in the past about who did this with this one. Danny got Mikey and this, and who knows if it's because of the Verona virus at the time, the numbers went back and forth. And I'm not going to go through all that right here, man. The businessman, right? He want to give you customer service. Yo, I swear, man. You ain't getting behind me and you want me to give you my money, right? You want me to give you my money. And then, watch this. The businessman. When shit don't work out, who do they blame? The fans. The fans are stealing. They're stealing everywhere, man. When I go to the gas station, pump that gas, they stealing from me. When I go to groceries and I got to pay more than I'm supposed to, they're stealing from me. It's called a fucking transaction fee. When shit ain't right? It's a chain reaction. And this is why I say, Crawford, stay the way you are. Stay the way you are. One, hey, they said if you was away with Bob Arum, shit would be nice. We can make this fight better. It sound like it ain't happening. They told you to get a belt. You got a belt, right? So, you see, now they want you to fight Boots Ennis. Now, and then guess what? They probably want you to sign a 2 or 3 fight deal in order to get the Errol Spence fight. My dude Crawford, man. Like I said, I'm a Pacquiao fan. right? And I'm a fan of both y'all, but I'm not a big fan like how I am with Manny Pacquiao. So let me just rephrase what I said, that I'm not a fan of you or Errol Spence. I have to look back and say, listen, I am a fan, but I'm not a big fan like I am with Manny Pacquiao. Let me get it in detail, okay? But I don't have a man in the race, not a horse, not a sheep, not a dog, a man in the race right now. So I'm taking this shit in stride. I'm just taking this shit like this, man. I like both of you brothers, but I see that everybody's always blaming Bud, even when he makes the moves. Well, Sean Porter, you know, he was thinking about retiring in this every fucking time. Oh, he banged his hand on the he didn't really knock him out because he didn't get hurt, because he banged Sean Porter. He banged his hand in the ring like, damn, I messed up. Right? So that was really a knockdown. Yo, man. Yo, y'all keep coming with these excuses, man. But it's all good and dandy, man. It's all good, man. Because the way I see it, Bud Crawford, they can't make a move. Errol Spence can't make a move without you, man. So just stay humble. Relax. A year, if you have to. Like I said in my past videos that I presented, now, if they come to you, right, after the Mario Barrios and Keith Thurman fight, and if the business people feel that fight, they could give it to you in a way where they could say, well, if you fight Keith Thurman, you're going to get the fight with, just make sure it's a fight by fight, man. Because listen, always remember, this man wants strap season. Right now, if you retire today, I'm gonna let these people see this video, right? That I used to be bitching about you not wanting to fight Spence, and you don't give a fuck. But now, it's so funny, has time gone by, I understand now. I understand, man. Maybe it wasn't your intentions, but whatever intentions it is, stay the way you are now, man. Because they need that last belt, man. Not the business people. This is Spence strap season. See, this is the problem, man. You got these networks and these sanction bodies, and you got the boxer. The boxer wants the prize. It's the boxer prize is the money, but that's not just all that a boxer wants. A boxer is a warrior, and he has a warrior spirit. And the thing about being a warrior and having a warrior spirit, you want to be the man. You get the thrill, the adrenaline of busting down a motherfucker. That's it. So these business people is preventing a warrior spirit in a boxer. You can blame the fans that we stealing all you want. Hey, UFC, they do pay-per-view. They could blame the fans all they want. They're not getting the beneficial or anybody. But all I'm hearing is from boxing. Oh, the fans, they stealing. First it was this, my dude. You fucking. First it was dude was this. Yo, we got a cash cow, Tank Davis. We could put him in there with anybody. Then shit happens, and then shit don't happen the way you want it. Then, well, we're not gonna reveal the numbers. Then after that, peep game, man, peep game. It's the fans. It's the fans' fault. It's the fans' fault. You lot of fucking cunts got so much fucking nerves, man. So much fucking nerves. So you know what? Be bipolar. Be whatever you want, Crawford. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you was to retire today, you're in the Hall of Fame. Mikey Garcia, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. Adrian Broner, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. Why? They did divisions, they championships. What about Spence? What is he doing? Unifying ain't nothing. If it's 1, 2, or 3 belts, you're not undisputed, man. And guess what? I'm gonna ice this right here with this one here. If you go to 154, no telling Boots will be there to block any situation you trying to get into. Since we like to talk about Crawford taking the fight with Boots, well, hey, and let me give you another example. I'm Bud Crawford, right? And I want to drop the belt. You know how I'm going to drop this belt? I'm just gonna be honest, man. Because I can see that Crawford could get fed up, but don't you ever, I'm telling you, don't you ever drop that belt, dude. You hold on to that belt until it's time for you to get another mandatory, or you squeeze the time. You squeeze the time where it comes to Errol Spence gotta fight his mandatory, or they gotta pay step aside money again for him to get out the tournament, right? But don't you ever change. Keep that belt, man. Keep your chip, man. That's your strap. You keep it, right? Because this man will undispute it. But this is what I'll do. If I get fed up with everything and I just say, you know what, I'm time to retire. You know, I want to live a fruitful life. You know, this is hypothetical talk. You know how everybody want to talk hypothetical? Well, as a warrior, it's either two ways I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out like this, like how Manny did. I'm going to give a young lion a chance. Well, that young lion had a detached retina. That ain't Manny problem. That's not Manny Pacquiao fault. But he was in a position to give an Errol Spence a chance, right? Win or lose, that man would have got the respect for giving that young lion a chance. That's one. Two, well, how can I say this? Because it's going to sound crazy, right? It's going to sound crazy. But okay, I forgot what I was going to say. But I would make it sure that y'all want to keep saying it's me. Y'all blaming me because this fight's not happening. And this is what I don't like about fans. They say it's because you can't sell. You can't sell. Y'all the businessman too, right? Y'all the business people too, right? Well, no. It shouldn't be because he can't sell. This man is in the rankings. This is what boxers do. Olympics or non-Olympics, amateurs, whatever, they build themselves up. They put the blood, sweat, and tears in this, son, right? Yes, they want a prize, but they also want to beat a man. To beat the man, they want to beat a man. Y'all forgetting that part. So all y'all yapping and your fucking mouth about, it's Errol's fault because he can't sell. It's Errol's fault because he can't sell. That's why we can have this fight. Yeah, well, Tank just told Gamboso, I don't want your fucking belts. I'm not going to fucking Australia. I don't care about your fucking belts. Hey, Crawford, have that same energy. I don't give a fuck about your undisputed, man. You want this fucking undisputed? You gotta run through me, nigga. And if your PBC and your business twat motherfuckers don't want to give me the opportunity, hey, you're gonna get the bad news from your company, from your network. I mean, from your brand, PBC, Showtime, whatever the fuck it is. That you let them give you the bad news. Let them give you the bad news that you can't show your warrior spirit. Huh? And if you want to hide behind that, fine, so be it. But don't blame Bud. Bud is, hey, like I said, Bud did a mandatory. Bud is a free agent. All these things you told him to do, he did at least 3. Well, he fought Sean Porter. He got a belt with Jeff Horn. That's another fucking thing. Y'all talking about he took the easy route with Jeff Horn. Where this motherfucker said, I'm going to take the easy route beating Sean Porter. What the fuck is the difference? Y'all, man, y'all fucking around like some fucking... Y'all just going in different directions like sheep, man. If the businessman is stopping the fight for you being a warrior, then it's the businessman that's the problem. I don't see Errol Spence and Bud Crawford. They scared of each other. But I feel that with these businessmen, Wilder, I like Wilder, right? I'm a fan of Wilder, right? Because he's a knockout artist. If you know that, I'm a fan of southpaws and knockout artists. So I like Tank. I like Wilder. So this is nothing against Wilder. But he was the face. He was one of the faces for the PBC. He lost. Respectively. He lost. Not to rub it in, but he lost. So he's out the picture. The next person is supposed to be Spence, right? What if they lose him? Then what? Then what? They ain't got no... What? Tank? He's another one. But Mayweather don't want to move him. Mayweather don't want to move him because he's a businessman too. And he did come out his mouth and say, we're only doing in-house fights. We're not going to Australia. We'll fight Loma when we think we're ready to fight Loma. Age out, whatever, right? Listen, man. If y'all want to talk business, I'm going to talk business too, man. And I don't want no fan talking about, you're not a businessman. You shouldn't talk about it. Listen, if the business is blocking the fucking fight, I'm talking about it. And I'm telling you, Bud Crawford, don't you do it. Don't you do it, man. Don't you drop that belt. Don't drop it. And if you drop it, let me get back to what I was saying. If you drop it, make sure you drop it and give a young champion. And give it to Boots. Yes, give it to Boots. Because guess what? If you beat Boots, if the time comes and you decide you want to do that and you want to just drop the belt, don't drop it because it's going to be easy for this man to get it, right? Give it to Boots by fighting him. If you win, hey, you win. If you lose, well, guess what? I'm crazy like that, man. If you lose, well, that man will have the belt. You're out of the picture, but the drama's still here. Because I'm guaranteed you, if that man gets that belt, Errol Spence ain't fighting that young lion. And then you can sit back and say, it was all about me. It was me. All that time was me that was holding up the fight. And it wasn't the PBC. Because, what? Boots, he's a warrior, yeah, but he doesn't sell. Fuck it, I'm a nut, man. Don't worry about me. Yo, like, share, subscribe. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here for you to read between the lines. So, at this moment now, Bud Crawford, you are stress-free. I don't see nothing wrong with what you're doing. You ain't doing nothing wrong. Let them keep making you think you wrong or what you're doing. Whatever they want you to do. You did what you had to do. Sit back and let time be your friend. Let time be your friend. Because you did your mandatory. You're a free agent. You could go to Josh if you want to, do a one-fight deal with that Bob Arum if you want to. You could wait and see the outcome with this fight, right? With Ugas and Spence. And then step back in and say, yo, I know y'all don't want me to sell, but you sure you don't want to change your mind? Because, Spence, he does want this belt. And in order to get this belt, regardless if I sell or not, I want close to 50-50. Bottom line. And if you can't give me that, well, I'm going to waste time with this belt. I'm going to hold this belt, and I'm going to give somebody else another opportunity. We don't know who, but time is on my side. But Errol Spence, time is not on your side. You got a lot of things to be going to be pushing towards you. Unless you got another injury. Anyway, I'm done.
That's impressive. Let's finish up with this. I mean, you've been asking, I asked you a little bit about Spence. That's the big fight that people want to see if you get past Amir Khan. How frustrating is it for you to sit there and know you have all these guys out there that you could prove yourself against and show how great you are? And those fights are very difficult to make, and they haven't been made at this point in your career. You almost fought Louis Collazo, who was a good fighter a number of years ago, but he's not the same guy now in this fight. Is that a frustration to you that, it's difficult to get the elite guys in the ring?
Sometimes it's frustrating, but that's not my job to stress over things that I have no control over. So I just do my job, and as opponents.
You voice your opinion, though, don't you?
Yeah, of course, but I'm not going to stress over if I fight Spence, if I fight Garcia, if I fight Thurman, those type of fighters. I'm not going to stress it. As long as I'm making a living for my family and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as a fighter, then I'm not going to stress it, because I done a lot of in the boxing game that a lot of people haven't. I'm a two division unified champion, Ring Magazine undisputed fighter of the year. I got so many accolades, that I've accomplished in the professional boxing that I'm comfortable. I'm good with how my boxing.
So if your career would unfortunately end if after the Khan's your last fight, you don't have any regrets about not seeing those other guys?
Not at all. Not at all. I didn't move up 2 divisions. Not at all.